Hello and welcome. I'm so excited to be chatting with you today a little bit more about study abroad opportunities at Elizabethtown College. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so my name is Megan Bell. I am Etown Study Abroad Advisor. I am also a graduate of the college. As a student, I was a communications major with a minor in professional writing. I was not sitting in your shoes thinking that I wanted to study abroad during my time at Etown. So please, no pressure to make any decisions today. Just want to tell you a little bit more about the opportunities at Etown and hopefully get you excited about thinking about potentially considering it for yourself in the future. Like I said, I wasn't thinking about it as a first year student, but then ultimately did spend the spring semester of my junior year in Cheltenham, England. While abroad, I had the chance to go to Ireland, the Netherlands, the Czech Republic, Italy, and Greece. And then since graduating and working in international education, I had the chance to go to Mexico and Ecuador for work. And then personally had the chance to go to Canada for about 2 years ago. Went up to Niagara Falls. So just barely into Canada. But here's a picture of me studying abroad, and then also proof that I did indeed graduate from Etown. So enough about me. Let's talk a little bit more about the opportunities you can do at Etown. All right, so what is study abroad? Maybe you're already familiar with it, maybe you've never heard of it before, maybe you just don't know all the different variations that are available. So at Etown, we have semester-long study abroad programs, we also have full year-long study abroad programs, and then we do also have short-term programs. We have a spring break program, we have winter break programs, and then we do also have summer programs as well. We have Etown faculty-led programs, so it's actually an Etown professor taking a group of students abroad. Those programs are usually 1 to 3 weeks, oftentimes during May term, so the first couple of weeks after the spring semester ends. We do have a spring break program as well. And then other times you have the opportunity to actually enroll at a university abroad and take classes alongside local students, kind of see inside their education system and engage with them there. And then we also work with third-party providers. So they are facilitating those relationships with the universities, but then they're also offering their own on-site support. They have a staff person there available, oftentimes available 24/7 to you, and they plan different trips and orientations and excursions throughout the semester. So definitely a lot of support before and while you're abroad through Etown. You may have the opportunity to volunteer while you're abroad or intern. You can conduct research. We had a student who recently did some shark finning research while in Costa Rica. Another student did breast cancer cell research in Ecuador. We had a student who volunteered at a homeless shelter in New Zealand and a student who interned at the US Embassy in Tokyo, Japan. So there's so many different opportunities that you can pursue within your study abroad experience. So if you're interested in that, definitely let me know and we can check it out further. When you're studying abroad, you obviously have the chance to explore a different culture. There's not an expectation that you will be studying or have interest in studying a second language. All of our programs, regardless of the host country's primary language, offer courses in English if that's something you're interested in. If you'd rather take courses in another language, we can definitely pursue our immersion programs as well. That's definitely a possibility. And then the other option is that, all Etown students need to take at least one language course as part of the core program. And maybe you're interested in a language beyond the ones that we offer on campus. We have Italian courses abroad, Portuguese, Arabic, Hungarian. Maybe there's a language that you've already studied and want to continue studying, or maybe there's a language that you've always been interested in. And study abroad could be a good opportunity for that. And the last part here is that a lot of students say, I'll just wait until I graduate and then I'll travel. And I just wanted to point out that tourism and study abroad are different. You are, for one, you're staying in the country for a longer period of time than most people vacation. And you're going beyond, TripAdvisor's 48 hours in Paris suggestions. You're going off the beaten path, you're interacting with locals, you're hearing their perspective on the culture and the history, and you actually get to kind of form a home away from home. So it is different, and college is a really unique experience. Really unique time for you to participate in an experience like this. So if you are interested in living in another country for some amount of time, study abroad is a good chance to do that. So moving on, you may be asking yourself, where can I study abroad? And here's a complete list of locations where we have semester programs. We do have a predefined list for semester programs just because of how the finances work out, which I'll talk about later. Doesn't mean that you can't go to another location. It just means that it'd be a slightly different conversation, but I'm happy to work with you on that. If you want to go somewhere that you don't see on the list, please let me know, because we ultimately want this list to be student generated. And if enough students keep expressing interest in a certain location, I want to add it to our affiliated list if we can. So Iceland is a primary example of a location that we just recently added due to popular demand. We do have at least one university relation in each of these countries. So there's a specific city that you will be based in, but there are some countries such as Spain where we have multiple programs. We have a Barcelona program, a Granada program, and a Valladolid program. So some countries it's one location, and other countries it's multiple options. You will see that we do have a Washington, D.C. program, so that is our one domestic option, where you actually do a full-time internship. So this is a great choice for our political science students, our business students, our communication students, pre-law students. It's a great option for some students, especially if you're not interested in leaving the country, but you want this study away experience, something outside of your traditional semester at Etown for one semester. So something to consider. All right, and then we mentioned Etown faculty-led programs. So again, this is a Etown professor taking a group of Etown students abroad for 1 to 3 weeks. We do have the spring break program, which is in the Czech Republic. It's the first one listed under Europe. That one's offered pretty consistently every year, but some of these other programs are offered every other year. So you've got some programs every year, some program every other year, guaranteeing that you have at least 2 chances during your 4 years at Etown to participate in the program if you want to. We do have some seniors that participate like right after graduation. It's kind of a graduation gift to themselves, last hurrah before entering the real world. So that might be something that you want to consider as well. All of these programs are open to students of every major, with the exception of the Vietnam program, which is exclusively for social work and occupational therapy students. So if you're interested in another program, you do not need to be a student of that particular professor to participate in the program. So you can kind of see some of the upcoming programs, and there's a chance that we'll be adding some more in the future. All right, so I wanted to talk briefly about finances, because I know this is definitely a big thing in relation to study abroad. So I wanted to mention how finances work for semester versus summer. So if you go on one of our pre-approved, basically our affiliated list of semester programs, that list you just saw, your tuition travels with you. So your tuition is exactly the same, whether you return to campus for that semester or whether you study abroad. So any merit-based scholarships, financial aid, all of that still applies. You don't need to transfer it anywhere. You get the bill from Etown like normal, you pay it like normal. Nothing about tuition changes for you to study abroad, regardless of the location you want to go. The difference is that if you typically live on campus, you obviously wouldn't be living on campus the semester that you study abroad. So instead of paying Etown for housing and a meal plan, you would be paying the company that you study abroad with, or the school for your housing. So that cost is going to be dependent on the cost of living of the country that you're in, as well as the type of housing. So a lot of programs have options of apartments or dorms or host families. So that does make the cost fluctuate. But we have a budget sheet that I fill out with all students during advising meetings and kind of outline the exact cost of the programs that they're looking at. Happy to do side-by-side comparisons. We outline the housing cost as well as the extra expenses, such as airfare, food's not included in the program, if you need a passport, those kind of things, so that you're not surprised later by any hidden cost. But I can tell you that housing for our pre-approved semester programs ranges right now from about $700 for a semester's worth of housing to about $5,000. So if you're looking for something that's similar to the cost of Etown, or maybe cheaper to save yourself some money, we can definitely kind of narrow down that list of 60 plus different options to find the right fit for you. There is an Etown study abroad fee, and it's required for all study abroad students. It is $250. It basically covers the extra layer of support that you get through the study abroad process. Then if you are interested in winter and summer programs, including those Etown faculty-led programs in a previous slide, since it's outside the academic year, your financial aid typically isn't in play, so you are responsible for the full cost of the program. But because it is a shorter experience, it can sometimes seem like a more affordable experience. So again, happy to crunch the numbers with you. Sometimes you might find that semester program is actually cheaper if you're looking at the per week cost. Sometimes summer programs are cheaper, so it just kind of depends on what works for you financially and personally. And then having said all of that, if you are an international student, if you have tuition exchange or tuition remission, it is a slightly different conversation than what I just explained. I can happy to give you my basic understanding of it, but ultimately we'll want to talk to financial aid because everybody's financial aid package is a little bit different, but we can definitely chat about that further. All right, so with that, I wanted to mention a few scholarship opportunities. Etown does very much support study abroad, so we do offer 4 $1,000 semester scholarships and 4 $500 summer scholarships each term. But then we do also promote some external opportunities as well. So I've listed 2 here, the Gilman Scholarship and the Critical Language Scholarship that you can check out. The Gilman is great because it's up to $5,000. It is specifically for students that currently receive the federal Pell Grant, so you have a certain level of financial need already recognized by the government. And now they've identified that you have 2 chances to apply. So you can apply it basically a year in advance of your intended study abroad experience and know months before you even need to apply if you got the scholarship and how much you got the scholarship for. So it's definitely a great way, like if you're not sure financially if you can do this or not, the Gilman Scholarship with the earlier deadline gives you the ability to know and have that financial confidence that you can study abroad. And if you don't get it the first round, then you have a second round to apply. And then the Critical Language Scholarship is actually a program. It's pretty unique in the sense that it's an all expense paid summer program if you're studying one of those languages that the US government deems as being in critical need of more people learning. So some of them do have prior like prerequisite requirements, and some of them are true beginner status. So if you are interested in learning one of these languages or already studying one of these languages, you want a completely free summer program. I mean, everything, airfare, it's all paid for. Definitely consider applying for the Critical Language Scholarship. It is very competitive, as is the Gilman, so I'm happy to work with you on any applications, kind of have some insider tips on what they're looking for winning essays. So definitely talk to me. I'm happy to work with you through that. And there's a whole list of scholarships on our website, probably 50 plus different opportunities. So I'm happy to help you identify additional opportunities to pursue as well. All right, so I just wanted to quickly debunk a few myths about study abroad, some things that you might hear from upperclassmen that maybe didn't fit study abroad into their schedule and wish that they would have. As you may know, our modern language students and our international business students are required to study abroad, but that doesn't mean that other students can't study abroad. So literally every single major at Etown can study abroad, and part of the reason is because you can go for so many different lengths of time. So most majors can go for a full semester, but if you don't feel like you can or your major doesn't permit it, you can do a summer experience. So if you want to fit it into your schedule, we can find a way to fit it into your schedule. Some students think that study abroad will delay their graduation. That's also not true. We get all of your courses pre-approved. They can transfer back for major requirements. They can transfer for minor requirements, core requirements. We make sure that you're good to go before you leave. And also Etown has a 4-year graduation guarantee, and that does include studying abroad for a semester if you want to. So definitely doesn't delay graduation. And then the last part, I don't have this listed here necessarily to say that it's not a myth, because I realize that some students may not be able to afford to study abroad, and that's okay. But I think a lot of students, again, just automatically say it's so expensive that I'm not even going to consider it without sitting down and having a conversation about it. So please, if you're thinking about this at all, let's have a conversation. Let's crunch some numbers. I think you'll be surprised that it's actually more affordable than you thought it was. All right, and then some frequently asked questions. Again, most students want to know, when can I study abroad? If you want to do a semester, usually junior year is kind of the sweet spot. So if you're a first year student, you got 2 years to plan, no pressure for today. But if you're anxious to go abroad and you maybe want to go abroad more than once, you can go as early as the summer between your first and your second year. So this summer 2021 would potentially be a possibility. I did want to mention a couple of majors do have specific designations of where they can go or when they can go abroad. So I know some majors such as engineering and occupational therapy and other schools, it's difficult for you to do a semester abroad. Here at Etown, we do designate specific semesters that you can go abroad if you're interested in that. And then the next question here is, where can I go for my major or my minor? So you're not limited to study abroad in a location that has courses for your major or your minor. Oftentimes students are saving some of those general education courses to take while they're abroad. That gives you some more flexibility of locations of where you could go. But if you are interested in maybe seeing what's available specifically for your major, or you just want to have some fun and start looking around at different program options, I did want to tell you about some cool resources we have that you can start kind of playing around and seeing what options Etown has that might be a good fit for you. So with that, I wanted to show you the Etown Study Abroad website. So if you're on Etown's site and you just search for Study Abroad, you will find us. This is our home page here, and I have the program matching quiz button selected. So the second button in there, it's currently like a grayish color. If you want to click on that and you can get started on our program matching quiz, after you set up a traveler profile, you'll get this message here, and then it will start a series of questions to get to understand you a little bit more and you're interested in studying abroad. So one of those questions is this one. It says, I am interested in global opportunities because I want to. And then you can select as many goals and motivations that relate to you. So, you want to see new places, you want to meet new people, you want to, have this look really good on a job resume, which it does. Less than 10% of US undergraduate students study abroad. So you're really going to stand out if you put this on your resume for future job applications. So definitely take some time, fill this out, and then at the end, you get a list of programs that fit based off of the preferences that you had. And you can take this quiz as many times as you want to. And you can go back and favorite, the little star here, your favorite programs so that you remember which ones you favorited, and you can go back and check them out later. So when you click on the program, it has a whole bunch more information about the specifics of the program. All right, and another place that you can check out is our social media accounts. So again, I'm on the home page here at Study Abroad Office. You've got side navigation here, it's got a drop-down menu, and then on the bottom here, student stories, there are also some links. So we've got Instagram, YouTube, and a blog. So here is a screenshot of our Instagram account. It's at Etown Abroad. We share pictures of students that have recently been abroad, some of their experiences. We do a lot of Food Fridays. We share cute pictures of the bunny, like that one in London. We're highlighting student accomplishments. It's a good way to learn more about the possibilities of study abroad, as well as stay tuned potentially for different upcoming events and activities. We do have our YouTube channel where we have videos that Etown students have created from their study abroad experiences, as well as the companies that we work with. Oftentimes they're doing, interviews with maybe the on-site staff there, the resident director. So it's a good chance for you to learn a little bit more about the program and start exploring. Maybe see some walking tours or virtual tours of housing or campuses. So definitely check that out. We have a playlist per country, so definitely lots of resources to check out there. And then this is the snapshot from our blog. So we do have blogs that students have written, such as Lauren's blog here about Italy and Andrea's blog about living in Washington, D.C. But then we do also have blogs that the Study Abroad Office creates, such as the LGBTQ resources one here. So we do have other articles such as how to finance, how to compare the different programs within Europe. So it's a good way, again, to see inside the student experience and potentially gain some more resources about navigating the study abroad process. So by now, hopefully you've seen that study abroad is a really impactful experience. We do have a lot of students at Etown that participate in it each year. It's actually more than 160 each year. That's approximately 10% of Etown's overall student population. Our seniors need to complete a survey upon the end of their time at Etown, and study abroad is continuously ranked in one of the top 2 most influential educational experiences that the students participate during their time, and ultimately the students that don't participate wish that they would have. So with that, also I wanted to mention that study abroad often leads to additional opportunities, and many students go back and complete their master's abroad, maybe at the school they studied at, or they pursue prestigious scholarships and fellowships. So the Fulbright Scholarship is one of those. It gives recent graduates the chance to teach English in another country, or maybe to do research abroad. And in the past 7 years, 16 Etown students have been selected for a Fulbright Scholarship, and all of them studied abroad during their undergraduate degree. So it does look great on resumes or applications, I should say, for scholarships too. All right, so with that, I wanted to close here and give you my contact information. So you've got my personal email address, as well as the studyabroad@etown.edu. When we are in the office, we are in Nykerry Hall, just right around the corner from ITS on the first floor. With that said, I will personally not be on campus for the fall semester, and will be conducting all of my advising meetings via Zoom. So if you are interested in meeting with me, we absolutely can chat. We'll just be doing it via Zoom this semester. So it's never too early for you to meet with me. If you're anxious, if you're excited, you just want to learn a little bit more, feel free to schedule a meeting with me. That's also on our website. There's a schedule meeting button there. You can also email me, but just wanted to give you a heads up, it'll be on Zoom this semester. And then I wanted to follow up with a chance to win a study abroad fee waiver. So that's the $250 fee that we mentioned. I'm going to be giving out 2 fee waivers, and you have a chance to be entered for those waivers if you, one, follow us on Instagram at Etown Abroad, or you complete a program matching quiz. So both of those need to be completed by September 1st. If you do both of them, you get 2 chances to win. Ultimately, 2 different winners though, so only 1 waiver. You only need 1. And then here's our website as well. So I was so glad to chat with you today about Study Abroad. I hope I get the chance to chat with you more in the future. But again, welcome to Etown and enjoy the rest of your orientation. All right, bye-bye.